I want to talk about the legends, and people have been asking me or saying to me like, Alex, what do we do? I'm just doing that for my own purposes. It's not necessarily meaning that these players are better or like you should definitely be doing that. I'll be talking about the legends that I have already prolonged. You can see I have a lot of legends from the previous season, whether you need these players or not. So I'll be covering them one by one. This is the team that I'm playing. This is the team that you can easily get into the Division 1. I'm in Division 2 right now. Eventually, you will not be able to build a full legendary team, and you need to think maybe in advance, switching to a base players or featured players. I would probably prolonging Cristiano Ronaldo. Marcus Rashford is great. If I'm standing in between the choice, I will be probably letting him expire, but I'm using him just memories from the previous season, right? Because he was pretty much the player that I went for when there was a choice between Ronaldo, Messi and Rashford. I decided to give it a try, and that helped my channel a lot. So I have a connection with Marcus Rashford over here. I might be prolonging him just because of this sentiment. But I'm not recommending him just because Son Heung-min is just as good. He is the perfect substitute for Marcus Rashford. Not only that, he's also playing the roaming flank. So you can play him in formations where you're playing Son Heung-min in the left midfielder spot, where Marcus Rashford is getting a significant downgrade in overall, and I feel like that is influencing his performance. Although his stats are not changed, I don't know how it works exactly. But Son Heung-min can also play in the center forward position. He can also play a right wing forward, not right midfielder, because you can see how drastically it changed here. So right wing forward, left wing forward, center forward, left midfielder, Son Heung-min can cover all these zones. And he is having also this double touch skill. So it's pretty much the same card as Marcus Rashford, and he has the shooting abilities. He can curl. Almost everything in this game he can substitute, and that is a good choice, I guess. Then we have other legends I'll be covering. Paul Scholes is probably not the legend you want to like. You can have Kevin De Bruyne in this position. He'll be performing just. Morientes, I only used him for my Real Madrid squad builder. I'm not recommending you using him just because he's way too slow. You need to use him as a towering forward. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, I feel like last season he was more overpowered. He can play on the right and on the left. That's why he is such a good utility player, because of his outside curler. So that's why probably Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, if you have already used him, maybe you would want to prolong the contract. Alessandro Del Piero, I'm kind of like, I don't really like this card. I don't know. David Bergkamp is fantastic because he has the advantage passing, just like Del Piero, by the way, but still, Bergkamp is a little bit more physical. And he has no skill moves though, so that's a little bit of a downside. I would be still not prolonging him. If I'm saving contracts and I'm really stingy on the contracts, I'm not prolonging him. Leo Messi, the iconic card is great. It's like a fantastic card. I would be prolonging him if I was using him in my teams. I'm not using him though. Just doesn't fit my squad builder. Other than that, you see Luis Figo. He's a great card. I will not be prolonging him. I don't know. There are so many right wingers who are left-footed, which are better because you're cutting inside naturally and you're taking a shot with your left foot. Ronaldinho Gaúcho. I can find the use for Ronaldinho Gaúcho in this game. I don't know. It's just like you need to play him in attacking midfielder spot. He's fantastic. His stats are actually very impressive. Like you can see, he's just like wow. And that is already considering I trained his two play styles to 80 and 90. 92 dribbling, passing is good. A lot of skill moves. A fantastic card. Speed and acceleration are lacking, so you can't really play him as a winger. Ruud Gullit is a good card. I would not be using him just because it takes him a little bit of time to make a pass. It's not the player I'm going to be prolonging as well. Frank Lampard, by the way. Whole player, solid midfielder. Is there a substitute to him? Kevin De Bruyne. If you want a whole player, use Bruno Fernandes. If you're really stingy, like if you're really saving on the contracts, don't prolong Frank Lampard. Guti, Guti is such a good player. Guti is like, for some reason, a creative midfielder who is making runs in the box, has double touch, good passing abilities, okay physical abilities as well. He can kind of defend. Such a good player though. For my Real Madrid team, I'll be saving him. You know what? For my Real Madrid team, I'll be prolonging his contract. Gerrard, I feel like there are so many same type players that Gerrard, like Frank Lampard, Ruud Gullit. All of them can shoot, all of them can defend, all of them can kind of pass. Also, the same goes for the Lothar Matthäus over here. Vieira, I feel like the problem with Vieira, because I'm using his legendary card, the problem that he is not a destroyer anymore. He's a box-to-box. And this is why probably a lot of people are playing him as a center midfielder. He's doing the job. His passing still sucks. I traded this Vieira card though in a way where I have his passing improved, and his low pass is 83, which is decent. Jabal Alonso, no, just no. It's not about his pace though, it's just how exciting is like having an iconic legendary defensive midfielder, right? Rodri is better than him. If you're talking about orchestrators, Rijkaard is better than him. And I'm talking about dominating the midfield, being really physical. Andrea Pirlo, legendary Andrea Pirlo. Well, his passes are great. Like before, like when you're turning around with Andrea Pirlo, he's about to perform that pass. He's actually making the turn. He's making the effort. His stunning shots are fantastic. Am I still prolonging the contract on Andrea Pirlo? Probably I do. Probably I do, just because like it's Andrea Pirlo. And the free kicks you can take with him as well. It's a great card. Roberto Carlos apparently is the best left back in the game. It is so much improved cards compared to last season. I don't know why, but it feels like it's dominant. It's very good in defense. His crosses are deadly. Every time I see him on the flank, I know that this is going to be a stunning cross. I'm done. Absolutely fantastic card. These are the cards that I have tested, and of course 100 traded Casillas, not sure about that. There are goalkeepers, base goalkeepers like Courtois who are gonna be doing the job for you. Petr Cech has been saving me a lot. If I'm having to choose between keeping Petr Cech or using my De Gea or Alisson for my Premier League team, I'll be still using Alisson or De Gea though. So it's more about like I want to score goals rather than concede goals, concede less goals, right? And I'm not really that excited about that. And Campbell, just forget about him, do not prolong him. I hated this with passion, and I stopped using him actually. Disappointed. Maldini is a great defender. If you really need a good defender, just use Maldini. And I have an iconic card of Maldini. He can play as a left back, very good utility player as well. I want to have one iconic or like former iconic legendary defender so that I'm still capable, like if my defenders are done, modded with red arrows, I know that there will be always a player with solid, at least yellow arrow condition before the game, and that will be my legendary player. The players that I didn't claim, Fernando Torres, Batistuta, yes, you can claim them. They are decent players, just like my selection of players. I don't have that many contacts left, you know what I'm talking about? I just like want to build the teams that the players that I kind of like have a special sentiment around, and I'm not using the players just for the sake of them being overpowered. But Romario is amazing. And there's of course Johan Cruyff. He's also a fantastic player. If you have him, use the contract on him. Fantastic player as well. Like Romario, Cruyff, all of these players are worth using contracts on. No questions asked. Other than that, Totti, people were saying that he's decent this season. Rivaldo, I'm not sure about that. Beckham, some people are still fraudulently using him as a defensive midfielder. He's a spamming merchant, cross spamming merchant. You can use him, of course, if you want to. Nedved has his playstyle has been changed. Now he is roaming flank, so now you need to keep that in mind. He's still a beast, though. I conceded goals from Nedved outside of the box. Very fun player to use. Probably I might be actually using the contract on him and testing him out. And other than that, Robson might be also a good shout. I'm not sure about Xavi, also good midfielder, good. Like if you're building the Barcelona team, Xavi and Iniesta, don't hesitate, like, prolong their contract. Just make sure that you're wise about that. I have 20 contracts left. I want to make sure that I'm not left without the legends, like essential legends that I need to use at the later stages of the season.